So this coming Friday is going to be a pretty important day, particularly for Theresa May, as what is happening at Chequers has been dubbed the Body Bag Summit, because it doesn't matter how this summit ends, someone is going to get taken out. And the possibility of Theresa May basically just holding her hands up and say, I can't make get my cabinet to agree, so someone else can try, is a possibility. But there's all sorts of stuff could happen. We just don't know, and this is why it's been dubbed the Body Bag Summit, because someone is going to get taken out. Now, this article from Bloomberg sums this up perfectly. So, this could be a deadly month for Theresa May. Unpopular at home and in Brussels, the British leader will try to restore order with a cabinet lock-in at a country estate that has been dubbed the Body Bag Summit. May's aim is to force a decision on how dramatic a split to seek from the European Union. Businesses want the smoothest of breakups, but if May tries to stay close to the bloc, she'll face accusations of betrayal by Brexit purists. She will face down the hardliners. Will she face down the hardliners in her party, or find another fudge? And as I've said, she cannot continue fudging these things, because we are at a point where these are binary decisions. It is either yes or no, and she cannot continue to fudge or kick the can any further down the road. So May's Conservatives aren't the only ones at war. The opposition Labour Party is battling its own Brexit demons with growing calls for a second referendum. Back the Prime Minister. Back the Prime Minister. Oh. Oh, yep. So back the Prime Minister, back the Prime Minister or resign. Those are the options facing top ministers as they head into Friday's gathering at Chequers in Buckinghamshire, northwest of London. That is why it's been called the Body Bag Summit, a term that first appeared on Sky News, attributed to a minister. The goal for May is to get her ministers united behind her approach to Brexit, even as rivals are reported to be lining up to put the knife in. Details of the talks are set to be published the following week, and the idea is that clarity will finally emerge in a so-called white paper that will set out the UK's goals for its post-Brexit relationship with the bloc. Asked repeatedly whether she will represent a menu of options or single market desired outcome, May's spokesman told reporters on Monday that she would set out what we wanted to do, and what we wanted to achieve, suggesting that one solo model will be laid out. The scale of the challenge facing May is clear. Media reports around tempers are running high, with the Environmental Secretary, Michael Gove, said to have ripped up a government report on future customs opinions because he felt his concerns had been downplayed. Hardline Brexit supporters like Grove oppose May's preferred option, which involves the UK collecting tariffs on the EU's behalf, and instead back an alternative that would see technology that doesn't yet exist, providing a key to minimal border checks. A government official on Monday confirmed in a BBC report that a third option is now on the table. The official provided no details on the new proposal, which has yet to be made public. This particular argument has been dragging on for months, with concerned businesses finally sounding the alarm. Significantly, 25 ministers who attend the cabinet will be present at the meeting, and clearly a majority of them voted Remain in the 2016 referendum. The question was whether May will use that to push through a version of Brexit deemed too soft for some. So the Prime Minister is walking a tightrope, as the White Paper also needs to win over the pro-EU Tories, threatening to defeat the government by backing an amendment to the trade bill that will keep Britain in the customs union with the EU after Brexit. May insists May's instincts will be to keep everyone on board. Mathieu Robam of the Eurasia Group wrote a note that while it would not ease the EU's growing exasperation, it would have the advantage of giving the government some crucial wriggle room in negotiations to reach their crunch point this autumn. So Tory divisions over Brexit are testing the patience of EU leaders and raising the risk that Britain crashes out the bloc without a deal, the scenario most feared by businesses. None of the leaders May addressed over dinner in a summit last week were very impressed with what she had to say. The Belgian Prime Minister, Charles Michel, put it best. The feeling that dominates is the impression that the British continue to negotiate with the British and not the EU. And with 9 months remaining before Britain actually leaves the EU, discussions on a future trade deal have yet to get underway. There's no agreement on how to avoid a hard border between Ireland and Northern Ireland, and businesses and government departments have long been preparing for all Brexit eventualities, and so is the National Health Service. The NHS England Chief Executive Simon Simmons has said significant planning is taking place to ensure that the supply of vital medicines and equipment continues in any Brexit scenario. The comments are significant because of the reports of a doomsday planning prep by the NHS have been dismissed by the government. May, however, has one advantage in her battles over Brexit. The opposition Labour Party is split down the middle too. Dozens of Labour lawmakers defied Jeremy Corbyn in a vote last month by backing an amendment calling for membership of the European Economic Area, which would let Britain participate in the single market but mean accepting free movement of people. And pressure on Corbyn may also be set to intensify this week as Unite Labour Union, Labour's biggest financial backer, has held its annual conference. And a YouGov poll published ahead of the gathering found that most members are giving support to a public vote on any Brexit deal May brings back from Brussels, a position at odds with the Labour leadership. Corbyn said on Sky that we don't need a second referendum as an agenda, but it's still a question that keeps getting asked to him. And that's the position where we're in. So Friday could be very, very interesting, so keep an eye on that. I will certainly be doing videos, and you'll certainly get one on Monday summarising essentially what's happened, because who knows, by Monday we may not have a Prime Minister. That's how important Friday's talks could be. Like I say, someone's getting taken out in a body bag this Friday, and we don't know who it is yet.